Hello guys, HL here, coming to you with another World of Warships Blitz video. Before I start the video though, I just wanted to apologize to you guys for not uploading videos for 2 weeks as I have been really busy. If you are worried that I will quit YouTube, no I won't, I will still be uploading as frequent as possible. Okay, back to what we are going to show today. Today we are going to be looking at the Blitz Royal match, which I played recently in the German Tier 7 battleship, the Gneisenau. I will be showing why I feel this ship is one of the best Blitz Royal ships as she's very versatile and is easy to use. And why is that, you may ask? Well, for me, I feel that she has tough armor, which makes her very durable in fights. While she only has 6 main guns, at least they reload fast, and if they hit, they do decent amounts of damage. Her secondary guns though, however, are the star of the show. She pretty much has the secondary guns of a cruiser, which means any destroyer or light cruiser that gets close enough for the guns to open up, especially when I'm running a secondary build now, will make it really deadly for them, so I will be able to take out DDs or light cruisers like as though I was a cruiser. And speaking of that, which Gneisenau is technically classified as a battle cruiser. She also has decent speed, which helps her get around the map quickly. Her only slight drawback, which I feel, is the slight lack of torpedo protection, which means you will need to use your hydro and learn to dodge torpedoes well. But this ship maneuvers quite well, she can turn easily and she can alter speed quite quickly. So if you know what you are doing and you can balance the use of hydro and varying your course, dodging torpedoes shouldn't be too much of a problem. I also think by now you guys have already noticed that Roma is part of my fleet, which means I will be making a video of her soon as I just purchased her recently. The Blitz Royal video I am going to be featuring today is quite long. The raw clip without editing comes in at about 13 minutes, so I will be cutting out some of the parts where nothing happens so you guys can watch the action happen immediately. Also guys, I just wanted to tell you that the stuff I am going to be saying in this video will be mostly from my own experience and my personal opinion. So if you guys want to share your own personal opinions, please don't forget to do so in the comment section of the video down below. With all of that out of the way, let's move on to today's battle. So let's first start with the matching. As you can see, my main concern is that there are 6 destroyers, which means I have to be really careful as they could just appear out of nowhere, as there are many islands here and drop torps, which will definitely hurt my ship quite a lot. As I start pushing in, I see the Colorado and I start to fire at the Colorado. I'm being really careful and altering my speed by suddenly stopping, as firing makes you get detected and I don't want a DD like the Mahan to suddenly rush out and drop torps on me. The Colorado goes back into concealment, which makes me have no other choice other than push forward and try to get the perks. As you can see, there are many perks and they certainly give your ship small boost, like the one I'm having here is increasing my speed and traverse speed if I'm not mistaken. This will make my ship more nimble, which allows me to dodge whatever that's being thrown at me. Here I'm picking up this perk, which basically I think makes you more resilient to fires, so you don't get spammed by HE, or you are not so vulnerable to spammed HE. I am mostly pushing around the corners of the map, as being in the center can cause you to get crossfired by many ships at once, which I don't want, because while the Gneisenau's armor is tough, she does not take broadsides very well and she will still take lots of penetration damage, which while does not cause as much damage as Citadel hits, they certainly will hurt if you take them in the long run. So angling is still an important thing even in a tough German battleship. I'm firing back at the Colorado as she's appeared again. I have only 6 shells, and with German dispersion though, only 3 hit, which is a little disappointing. But at least the German shells, or I mean the German guns, they reload fast enough at 17 seconds, because Gneisenau is more of a battle cruiser than a battleship, which compensates for the lack of guns and lack of accuracy. The Colorado is being fired at by a Nagato that has just appeared, which will sort of help weaken the Colorado, and at least she's not going to be targeting me. I decide to switch targets to the Nagato, as the Nagato is showing flat broadside and it's going to be easier to hit. As you can see, I did not angle in properly, resulting in taking a lot of penetration damage, but luckily the toughness of Gneisenau reduced the amount of damage I took. I put precise aim and fire at the broadside Nagato, but they don't hit for citadels as there's only 6 shells and they are not the best shells of battleships. For sure, the Nagato definitely has better shells if they hit, so I'm angling and trying to make all my shells count. Only 4 shells hit the Nagato and not all of them are full penetrations, which means the Nagato is still very much alive at this point. She's now behind an island and has gone back into concealment, so I am basically waiting for her to pop out, as once she pops out and if she's showing full broadside, I can easily clap her out of the match. The Nagato appears again and I decide to fire at her with guns. She's sailing almost broadside right now, angled but not quite enough. Annoying thing though, only 3 shells hit and she's left with a sliver of health, which certainly is a pain as I have to fire another salvo to hit her. Salvo goes in and I get the kill on the Nagato with a citadel hit, but that does not really matter at this point because she's so low on health that normal penetrations will kill her anyway. The Colorado here has made the mistake of being cornered down by a Gneisenau, which basically no ship should be dwelling a Gneisenau at close range, or any German ship for that matter, because they have really good secondary guns and can farm damage really well. Colorado is slow, so I drop torps and it's going to be easy to torp her. While I am aware that I am sailing pretty much broadside right now, I am not too concerned as the Colorado's guns reload slowly and she doesn't seem to be firing at the right part of the ship, so they don't hurt very much. As you can see, in this mode when ships get killed, they drop a repair pack, which is definitely very helpful to restore your health after a duel. I pick it up, as always you should be picking up repair packs if you can. Of course, don't rush in and pick it up if you are aware that there's going to be a lot of ships firing at you or destroyers dropping torps, but try to pick it up if you can because they will really help you out later in the game. The West Virginia appears. I'm not spotted yet and I don't want to fire as the West Virginia has the advantage at long range, as the guns are pretty accurate at such a range compared to mine, which are not. I decide to go behind island and not rush out in front, as I am not sure whether a DD is hiding here and I certainly don't want to eat torpedoes, as that will cause me to have a high chance of losing the match. I slow down as I am not sure whether I will be spotted, and I start to pick out so my forward guns face the West Virginia. I'm starting to reverse, so I slow down and move back, then thinking whether I was going to take a shot, and finally I decided to use my forward gun to take a shot, which only sends 4 shells towards the West Virginia, resulting in 3 hits, a few penetrations. The West Virginia though doesn't seem to be very interested in me, so I'm just retreating behind the island to ensure she does not clap me with her big shells. I'm starting to accelerate out again as I am concealed, and as you can see, the the safe zone has moved to a totally different area, so I have to start pushing to get into the zone, as you will take damage from the electromagnetic storm if you stay outside. Again, I am pushing forward very cautiously as I have used up both of my sonar consumables, which is a little bit of a pain as I can't really see tops from too far away. However though, the Akatsuki and the West Virginia appears and I focus on shooting at the Akatsuki. As you can see from this part of the video, I'm running a Gneisenau with a full secondary build, which basically increases the secondary gun reload speed, secondary gun range, and makes their dispersion lower so they are more accurate. The sad part though, Akatsuki just almost dies. However, she's left with a sliver of health and I'm not going to chase her down as chasing DDs down in a battleship is quite dangerous as they can easily torp you. Meanwhile, on the other side, a Brooklyn has gotten into a fight with the West Virginia, which definitely will help as most likely I can try to snag kills in this kind of situations. I sail out and I start to fire at the Brooklyn, and I get a Citadel as the Brooklyn is a light cruiser, making her armor really thin, and at this range the accuracy of German guns is not really a problem. With a West Virginia and a Geyser now firing at the Brooklyn, she pretty much has no chance because her armor is just too thin. I fire another round, get some hits as I'm really close, and you can see my secondaries going to town right there. I fire another round of auto secondaries, the manual armor piercing secondaries. And with my main battery guns, I finish off the Brooklyn, picking up the hill on the way. The thing is though, I did not notice the electromagnetic storm which is right behind me, and now I am starting to be outside and going to take damage really soon. Luckily, the Geyser now has a decent speed, the battle cruiser speed at about 30 knots if I'm not mistaken, so if I'm just sailing in a straight line, I can at least outrun the electromagnetic storm. The West Virginia is taking torps from a DD, the Akatsuki, so I know that there's an Akatsuki somewhere outside there and I have to be really careful. I switch to HE, and while German HE is not very good, it still does a better job than AP at hitting destroyers as they do not get overpens. The destroyer comes within secondary range, so I decide to open up on her with my guns. Torpedoes are not really useful in this situation as they will most likely turn away. As you can see, I pretty much gunned down a destroyer like as though I was a cruiser, something like the Brooklyn or the Atlanta, which just goes to show you how well a secondary gun build Gneisenau can be in this kind of fights. Now we are down to the last two players, me and another destroyer, a USS Mahan. Again, I'm just being cautious, and the moment I see my secondary guns open up, I know the Mahan has appeared, so I decide to fire my AP guns and fire all my secondaries and basically everything that I've got. The Mahan has decided to run away, and at this point of the battle, I'm still at full health because I've used the heals and I have picked up quite a number of recovery perks from dead ships, which puts me in a great situation because I can eat a few torps and still survive, even though my torpedo protection is certainly not the best. I'm turning my screen towards the other side, or rather, I don't mean screen, I mean camera, because I want my guns to turn around. While you can say this move is really risky as the chance of getting torpedoed is really high, and I am going to get torpedoed in a while, I don't really mind and I'm going to take the risk at this point because I have full health. She drops 8 torpedoes at me, which basically brings me to half health. You could argue that that wasn't the smartest move, but the electromagnetic field is going to be closing in and killing us all, so I decided just rush and let's see how it turns out. I drop my torps. I'm pretty surprised when one of them hit, which indicates the Mahan is right there. She drops another 4, take me down to like 10k health, and she gets stuck against an island, which definitely works for me because I can fire at her while she's not able to move. My secondary guns go to town and I take out the Mahan. So this match basically ends with me getting about 117k damage with the Gneisenau and ranking first, which again just shows you what kind of a monster the Gneisenau is when at close range. As you can see, 35k damage from the secondary guns, so it is pretty obvious that she is not a ship to be trifled with, especially at close range. I can also be making a tip and tricks video on how to brawl in German ships like the Gneisenau and the Bismarck, so if you want to see that kind of video, don't forget to tell me in the comment section down below. And with that, it pretty much wraps up this video. I hope you guys liked it. If you found it helpful, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more content. With that, my name is HL and I'll see you guys next time.